My upgrades are Invincible, Chapter 62, Fan Fiction, by Azazyel. It was only a while later as we were making our way back to Melen that I really was thinking about the members of the Loki Familia I met, and I came to a powerful realization about how far back I was in the timeline. I was 15 years plus back before canon. Belle wouldn't even be born normally for another 2 more years if my thoughts were correct. This made sense as it felt like the Loki Familias executives' aura felt like they were at around a strong level 3 or a weaker level 4 that wasn't from the Hera and Zeus Familias. So, quite literally the future canon was whatever I wanted it to be. As I was a cheating cheat, I had broken all the records for growth in reaching level 2 in less than a fucking month, and that was with me padding out my stats properly and even wasting a few days hiding out here in Melen. Give me a year and even if my growth slowed down I would still be more than level 5 or 6 at least, with my powerful body and items being more than enough to kill that damned behemoth and Leviathan. Let's see that cuck Maxim try to do his grand quest bullshit when I steal all his glory right from fucking underneath his ass. I though viciously before I took a breath to chill out as I smiled at the sight of the large ship in my fusion space before I came to a bit of a mental fuckery as I realized that I couldn't just drop a ship out in the bay without people who were on the water very clearly going, oh hell no, where did that ship come out of nowhere? So with that thought in mind I realized that we needed to head to the large rivers leading from the Lake of Melen to Rio and the sea so that we could get a hidden spot for me to yeet said ship into the water. Girls, let's go into the woods a bit near the Rio River inlet so I can throw our ship into the water to enter the bay. I spoke and both of them nodded in agreement. What are you going to name the ship, Jake? Tamamo asked curiously, and my face twitched as I remembered that the ship had already named itself both via its shape and the essence of its materials, and spirit had taken the name of Golden Hind along with 1,000 Sunny. Merging into a weird name of the 1,000 Golden Sunny Hind, weird, but so long as the mermaid I fused into it wasn't speared onto the front of the ship screaming in eternal agony, I wasn't going to give my fusion system any lip. Its name is going to be the 1,000 Golden Sunny Hind, Tamamo. I replied, and she made a face at that. She hesitated for a minute and then said with a wry smile. It's kinda wordy, why not just 1,000 Sunny or Golden Hind? It doesn't need both of them. I could only shake my head before shrugging and not answering, as I didn't have an answer besides my system wanted to name it, and who knows if the spirit already in the ship had taken the name. The kelpie beneath my legs that was giving me and Tina a ride while Tamamo was riding my infant dragon shuddered and made a whining growl that meant monsters were in front of us, and I raised an eyebrow as the sounds of battle reached our ears as we continued in the woods towards the river. Let's go see what's going on, girls. I spoke with Tina, saying quickly. Just be careful, just because we are outside the dungeon and monsters are weakened by not having a monster stone. We can still be overwhelmed should we run into a communal monster clan or a high-tier monster. I nodded solemnly with my arms squeezing around Tina in agreement, as we had already ran into higher-level monsters in our travels. Like those mermaids, this kelpie, and of course the lizard men I had fused into Tamamo. We quickly dashed through the tree line, and Tina's words were damn near prophetic as we blasted the very thick section of brushes that blocked our vision with Tina and I lowered our heads to beneath the kelpie's head, which powered through it with its scaled flesh, pushed aside branches and debris. And as we pushed back that blinding thicket, my eyes widened as we entered a large meadow with thick tall grass and the sky opening up to show the blue skies above us. But in the middle of the large meadow was a large treasure tree, and surrounding the treasure tree were 5 green dragons. Even as I registered the 5 green dragons that were the protectors of the treasure trees even in the dungeon, I realized that they were fighting the Loki Familia executives we just seen previously, and most importantly, the treasure tree was filled to the brim with its potent fruits that were the catalyst for all high-tier elixirs made by Familia alchemists. So seeing that, I met the eyes of Finn, whose eyes widened at seeing us enter the area, and he shouted out, "Leave! We are going to get out of here, and you can't handle green dragons at your level." I stilled hearing that. I wasn't good enough, wasn't strong enough. Fuck you, midget. If people could kill these things without a fauna, then I can do it with one. I shouted, and I squeezed the kelpie into action with the fish/dragon-themed horse sending out a whining roar as Tina rolled off with her spear falling into her hand as my charging form ran towards the first green dragon. Green dragons were thick earth dragons, basically with emerald-colored scales that were thick and hardy. They had thick digging claws that they would use to irrigate the lands around their treasure tree they ate the wood from to toughen up their scales. They were also dragons without flight like the infant dragon but different from the infant dragon. These actually had long-range breath attacks. My Kelpie dashed forward at high speed, trailing slightly to the side of the pillar of flames that was sent at us from the green dragon we picked out of the 5 that was off to the side and closer to the treasure tree. And as we got closer I ordered the Kelpie mentally. Jump over it. I could feel its mental agreement and joy at outrunning the draconic monster that it felt an instinctive rivalry towards, and even as Gareth roared out, "Get out the way, kid. You ain't got to prove anything." The Kelpie leaped over the green dragon beautifully with its head shooting upwards to drag its pillar of flames towards us. But in almost slow motion I held out a hand as we jumped over the large earth dragon. And I spoke out. "Gravity wins." And from my hand came a dozen balls. Each of the balls of matter was the size of a soccer ball. But they all had such density that each of them in reality weighed more than 10 semi-trucks. And the moment it left my hands and entered the air, a loud wet thudding noise rang out as the fucking balls of doom slammed into the large wide back of the green dragon, and I heard its scales and bones shatter as the balls under its extreme weight boosted by gravity slammed through its body.